Welcome back, guys. Remember that roll of 1964 dimes I might have mentioned? I'm not too sure. But anyway, it was an entire roll, 30 rolls of 1964 dimes. And guess what? They were all Denvers. And each of them had mint mark era. Seriously. They were either like double punched or something like that on the back, or I don't know what was happening at Denver during that time, but here's a look at one of them. And pretty much all the mint marks are this way. Did y'all see me? I don't like showing my face. But as you can see, look at that. In and out of focus. Look at that. You can see that that is definitely a situation of doubling, without a doubt. The D mint mark. And you also want to look elsewhere on the coin because, you know, doubling is a thing. As you can see some doubling right there in the O. I mean, can you? I'm trying to find my footing here because I forgot how to do this thing. You can see definitely some doubling right here at the tip of the buds. You know, it just depends on how far you want to go into it. This is the low relief flame, I believe, of, and let's see if it is a close M. It is. It is a close M. In fact, the A is having some doubling issues. Can you see that? And it is directly on top of the M. There's no space there, actually. So I don't know about that. And the C is on top of the A. So that happens sometimes. Let's turn it over. Me and my scope, I tell you. Let's get back on the screen. And those are the ears. I'm not sure, but that closely kind of almost resembles. I'm not sure. Because the doubling does not go down to the earlobe. So I'm not prone to say that that is actually doubling. So let's get back on screen here. And look at the profile. That's one thing that I always pay attention to is the profile. Because it's subject to a lot of doubling. Like right here, his nose is doubled because there's another nostril heading in there. As well, how many eyes does it take for him to see? You know? And, you know, you just kind of pay attention. In God we trust. It's big, but I don't particularly see issues with it. And here we go over to the designer initials. Here is where we want to kind of pay attention because look at these letters as, let me see if I can bring them into focus a little better. Look at that. And the 6 is practically on top of the 4. So why is that? You know, why is that? These mint people should have done better. And the 4 is on top of another number, if you can see. Not even another number, but another 4. That's a smaller 4 placed on top. See, you can see it. I can see it anyway. The numbers have been placed on top of the other numbers. So there is calls for sending it for sale. That's just one. But watch this. Hey, people. But I'm gonna weigh one of these dimes. The 1964 silver. I think it should be 2 point. I'm not sure what it should be. I kind of remember 2 point something. Let's see what it's registering as. 2.5. Okay. Now 2.5. I think that's right. I touched it. So it goes back to 2.5. Let me get 19, let's say 80 coin, for example. Let's see. That's 2.3. So you notice there's a difference. Now my objective is to find out why there's a difference between 1964 Denver, uncirculated by the way, 2.5. 2.5, that's a totally different dime. But now I'm going to get another one for my proofs over here and see how much. Oh, this is a regular, what is this? 1983D. Let's see how much that was. It says 2.3 as well. So I don't know what the difference is in the weight. Some come up as 2.5 and some come up as 2.3. But the point is you want to get it on the scale because, see, that's 2.2. But some people say that's within, you know, the range. I don't like within the range. I like to know precisely, you know. So that's 2.3 as well. 2.3. All right. That's a 1964 dime. Why is it coming up at 2.6? Huh. That's interesting. I guess it's within the range. I have to find out. Why does my dime weigh 2.6 ounces instead of 2.5? And so what I'm talking about is these, I had 30 dimes, 1964. And like I said, each of them had double die, not double die, but the mint mark was doubled on the reverse. In 1964, these were full of silver. They are full of silver. So it's a good thing to, if you find them in excellent uncirculated condition, like these, to get them, because you can sell them in lots, or you can get them graded. Let's see what this one reveals here. Each one of them is pretty much, that's a 1975. That's not even 64. You can pretty much sell them individually. You know, it's not required that you do a bunch because they are, you know, slacking in availability. So look at that, 1964. This is a totally different one. There, I say they may be from the same bunch. That's why the numbers are similar. But just to be sure, I'm going to pick another one and see if that looks the same as well. And it kind of does. So you can see that they are from the same, I guess, mint run. Because the numbers all have that same kind of issue of the 6 interfering with the 4. If you can see that. Hope I kept it on the screen. As I bring it in and out of focus. Like I said, that's one way where you can see doubling. This is because the line and the fuzziness will appear. Look inside the 6, inside the 9, inside the 4, you can see. And now we do the back. What I generally do is I start at the top like this, and I look and see what is present. This is low relief flame. Let me see, the AM is actually touching, and the CAs are touching. Like I said, this is from the same run of coins. And there's the D. You see it? It's been repunched. I'm not sure if I can catch it exactly for you, but I kind of want you to see that it has been repunched. And you can tell, right, as I'm focusing on this, you can see it, right? Look at that. As it comes into focus, you can tell. Is that focused or not? That's not focused. I'm sorry, guys. I'm usually operating it a lot faster. But I'm not sure why it's not getting into focus. Maybe I have that thing too close. But you can actually see on the D, Denver, that it has been repunched. Because I'm doing a close-up of the D right now. Look at that. You can tell. I mean, I can tell. That is repunched. I just want it to be in focus. There it is. It's in focus. Can you tell? Look inside the D. There's another thing in there. Look at the tip of the D as well. And it does have some, you know, scratches and things like that. But, you know, it's uncirculated. Can you believe uncirculated, but in this condition, per se? Low relief, like I said. And look amongst the edges. And, you know, that's where you can catch your doubling. But I don't see any that's particularly evident on this particular coin. Sometimes you can pay attention down in this area here, and that you will notice doubling, you know. So let's put in another 1964. I'm going to look on the back. I'm just showing that all of these coins, all of them had, in this particular row of 1964 dimes, had doubling. See, look at that. Double die. You can see that that doubling actually does exist. And there's something inside of the D. And then over here, you just kind of want to pay attention to if that's doubled. And it does not appear to be. A good place to check always is the 1. And let's see if that's doubled. Okay, and as we move up to the top, that flame is low relief as well. That A is touching the M, and that C is touching the A. So I'm saying these are from the same mint. These are from the same run, because they have the same type of errors. And look here. Let's look at him. I want to see his nose to be "In God We Trust." There's "In God We Trust." Does it look okay to you? Sometimes I'm not sure. Hey guys. And there is the numbering. This one is slightly better than the others because the 4 has moved slightly away from the 6. But again, not too much. So that's how it looks like that. And then, you know, as you move around the silhouette of the head, you can pay attention, and sometimes the line actually does show up where you can see the doubling and, you know, what happened. I pay attention to the eyes. I pay attention to the whole coin, actually. But the eyes sometimes are very telling. And look at his silhouette. Let me see. Can I get you back over here, Mr. Roosevelt? Get back on screen, please. And you can, you know, sometimes down here in the chin area, you can see the doubling. I don't know if you can, but there's 2 chins there, people. Not 1. But it's not so prominent that it would particularly matter. You can see 2 nostrils. I don't know if you can, but I can. And, you know, possibly something coming out of his nose. Who knows what that might be? I don't know. So that's how it goes. And then we have the letters over here. Let's look at those, because they should be, you know, fairly decent. And they are. So really, the only thing that I'm really concerned about on this coin is the fact that there's doubling on the back. That would be it. And here is another 1964 D dime, uncirculated. And look at that. I find that kind of interesting, because the D, you can see that it actually is doubled. I'm focusing right now. I'm shooting this on my phone. Let's see. Can you tell? Yeah, I can tell. And, you know, you just get it in focus as much as possible. You see 2 there, don't you? That's how I sometimes utilize just to help me. So that is that. Let's check this little branch here, because I do like to see if there's any doubling. Parts of these numbers are here, of course, parts of them. And you just keep moving it across and just checking for any type of doubling. And over here is of AM still touching, CA still touching. Like I said, this was a run deal. And now we're looking at the front of the coin. Like I said, I started at the top and I just kind of worked my way down. And I know coins look so beautiful from the, you know, just with the naked eye. But then when you start looking under, you get to see all the little dings and things like that, that, you know, the mint allowed. There's his nose again. And there's his eyes again. And even on this, we can see the doubling on the face, or the silhouette of the face. And God we trust. It's cute, right? It's a lot of flecking on this coin. I don't know why. I guess just with the age, that's what happens. And here we can see the 1964 again. Let me see. And you can kind of tell what is what as you scope in and out, I'm saying. So look, I'm going to go, I don't want to get too close because it won't allow me to stay focused if I'm too close. But I just want you to see that there is doubling there. It truly is. Now we're going to switch it over to the other side. I'm going to show you the D. And you can see right now, that has a weird shape, right? This is the best example I've seen so far this morning, where you could actually really see how it just gets in there and starts messing around with the D. You can see that. There's something about it that seems off. You know, in this area right here, it seems like the D was pushed, but not, you know, kept there, and then it was moved to a different position, perhaps. That's what I'm getting out of this one. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? So that's what I have on that dime. Let's check up front. Let's see if there's any type of... I mean, I do this because you know why? Certain dimes exist, whether you find them or not. They're still in existence, and so you should definitely try to do your best to find them. See how that A and M are actually touching? There's no space between them. But I know there's a A and M close and an AM that's not close. But I think this A and M, they're in a relationship. See? They in a relationship. And there are the flames. They're low definition flames. They aren't the high ones that I talk about sometimes. And one last thing I wanted to show you was this 1978 proof dime. That mint mark is actually an S. It's kind of hard to make it out the way that is showing up on screen, but it actually is an S. And there is some doubling. This is a proof coin, so, you know, somebody might like it. Look at that 8. It's ridiculous. But it's evident that there is some doubling on the coin. Like I said, it's a proof. Here is In God We Trust. And I don't know. They made it extra fat so you can pay attention to it.